Let's take a break. Coffee break tayo. Wala ng cafecito.
Welcome to another coffee break where we're able to learn, discuss, and discover various topics. I'm glad you're able to join me on your coffee break. So grab yourself a hot cup of coffee and have a seat. On today's coffee break, we'll be discussing how to deal with difficult participants. So whether you're a facilitator, a trainer, capacity builder, or just simply trying to hold a staff meeting or you're facilitating a community meeting, right? There's always those difficult participants that don't allow the process to move on. So we'll be sharing with you maybe some things that you can be doing. So there's three things that I'm going to be sharing for the various types of difficult participants. I'm going to share with you, first thing is a meta message, and a meta message is an inner message that could be implied from a message, right? So it's the message that you want to send them, either very clearly or allowing them to read between the lines. Also share with you a physical response, something that you can physically do that will help you to deal with that difficult participant so that you can move on, and also a verbal response, something that you can say as an example to this difficult participant. So let's dive right into it. And the first participant that we'll talk about is the rambler. And we know that the rambler is the one who goes on and about everything, but it has nothing to do with whatever it is you're talking about, right? And it goes off on tangent. And the meta message that we want to send to the rambler is that you're off track and you will not receive support, right? Your physical response would be moving away from this person, right? Him or her. Shift your eye contact to other participants, recognizing that there are others in the room. Cease your head nodding, right? Stop, whether it's an agreement or disagreement. Cease your head nodding. And your verbal response in this case could be, I'm not clear on your point. Can you state that in one sentence, or can you state that in one sentence? Or, I understand, but let's not get too far away from our topic, which is, right, in order for you to get back on track, to get them back on track, and let them know that although you support them, you're not going to support the behavior, right? So that's how to deal with the rambler. The next one that we'll talk about is the personal discloser. The one who shares just a little bit too much, and again, has nothing to do with the business at hand, or just goes off on a tangent, trying to share with you what took place over the weekend, what took place over the week, whatever drama or whatever adventure they went on. And the meta message that you want to send them is that you support them, but you're not supporting the behavior, right? And your physical response would be moving towards them, placing your hand on the table or the materials, and stay near them when the discussion moves on, right? So just by placing your hand on the table or the materials kind of sends that very clear message about, okay, it's time to pipe down. Let's hear from others. And your verbal response could just succinctly be, let's be sure we're discussing this in terms that everyone can relate to, or this sounds like something you and I can discuss later one-on-one. Keep it very professional, letting them know that now is not the time, right, in order for you to be able to move on. The next difficult participant that we all deal with is the know-it-all, right? Someone comes into your workshop, to your training, to your meeting, and they know it all, and they're not going to learn anything new. So the meta message that we want to send them very clearly is that many other opinions have value. You might know something about something, but other opinions have value as well. And your physical response would be direct eye contact, and stay in the position of power. This is called the power position, right? And that's at the front of the room. Make sure you stay there. Don't relinquish that to the know-it-all, because the know-it-all will then say, see, it's implied that they know more than you, because you've moved away from the power position. So stay at the front of the room, and your verbal response would be, okay, that's one point of view. Can we hear others? Right. So now you're seeking input from the rest of the people that are participating in your workshop, your training, your meeting, whatever it is. The next difficult participant that we always deal with is the critic. And the critic is always criticizing, right, everything that you're doing or wanting to do. And the message and the meta message that we want to send them is, well, contrary opinions don't threaten me. They're valuable contributions, whether I agree with them or not. And you're letting them know that you're open-minded. You're here to listen and have a dialogue and do what's best for the whole, right? And in doing so, your physical response is maintaining that direct eye contact in an open and non-defensive posture, right? So you stay relaxed, use your power position, which is the front of the room, and or walk around. But maintain open non-defensive posture. Don't be on the defensive when it comes to your body language. However you might use it. And your verbal response in this case could be, okay, well, what I have found to be true is, or and although there are always exceptions, you can maybe say, okay, well, Robert thinks A, John thinks B, I think C. Let's hear some other ideas about this, right? So now you want to not shoot down the critics' thoughts or ideas, but the implication there is that you're letting them know that there are others who can make some very valuable contributions, whether I agree with you or not, right? And you want to make sure that you kind of don't let the critic take over the meeting, because then it can turn into something that's just very unproductive, because everyone walks away not wanting to learn or share what you have shared with them, right? And so moving on to the next one, the inappropriate commenter. And this is the person who's always making those inappropriate comments and makes it uncomfortable for most, if not all, of the participants, and thus you lose your credibility, you lose participants in future activities or events. And the meta message that we want to send them is that your statements may be offensive to others. There's no way around that. You want to let them know that their statements can be offensive or are offensive to others, and your physical response is ensuring that you maintain and have direct eye contact, that you're very confident, and again, that you don't show a threatening posture, right? So you have a non-threatening posture, just stay relaxed. And your verbal response in this case could very well be, you need to be aware that language such as, if they're using bad language or ideology, on this may be offensive to people, right? So, just point blank, let them know that hopefully, that they understand that, and then you're allowed to move on without having many or any inappropriate comments being shared. And we'll round it out with the one that we always struggle with, and this is the non-participant. The non-participant is the one who we want to draw from, because they probably have so much knowledge, so much experience to be able to share or to add value to, that we want to make sure that we have everyone given the opportunity to participate and to share. And the meta message that we want to send them is that I understand that participating can be hard, but your input is very valuable, and they're not participating for various reasons, right? There's just because they're quiet or what have you. So we want to let them know that you're understanding that participating can be hard, but your input is valuable, and I value your input and your opinion. And your physical response can be very simple, and holding direct eye contact and looking for signs of agreement while you're speaking, while you're sharing, or active thinking, right? You're going to have the right, and it's looking for those types of nonverbal cues, the nodding, the smiling, etc. And your verbal response can definitely be, well, you seem to have a thought about this. What were you thinking, right? So it's your opportunity to draw it out. So basically, I mean, that's really how we deal with these difficult participants, the rambler, the personal disclosure, the know-it-all, the critic, the inappropriate commenter, and the non-participant. And in order for you to continue to build your effective communication skills, it's important to be able to know how to deal with difficult participants. I know this is a very quick coffee break in order for you to learn and understand. However, I hope that you did learn something. And that's it for today's coffee break. Make sure that you like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and share this video. So get back to work or whatever it is that you are doing, and see you at our next coffee break. Should you want a workshop on this topic, feel free to get at me and talk to you later. Lates.